our sex life is pretty much inexistent right now. But I don't even want that until we can start to have some type of connection. Sex is great and it's fun and like you're good at it.
I don't always want to be the fucking defensive person on this goddamn podcast.
You feel like our relationship is really heavy at times?
Yeah, lately.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm not willing to do it anymore. And I don't, from what you've told me, it doesn't sound like you are either.
No. Yeah, I mean, life is just so mundane right now.
Okay.
It's like just stuck in weekly to-dos and like trying to keep Luca entertained and all that. And like, I'm grateful because I do get time with him, but like, you look nice.
Thanks.
We actually do match a lot.
We do look good.
Yeah.
This is the second podcast we've done in a while.
Third.
Fourth. We didn't air that one.
Fourth.
Yeah. What does it feel like to be back on another one? Are you feeling a little more comfortable now that we've done it a few times?
Yeah, feeling good.
Are you?
Yeah.
I can tell that you get into like this voice of yours where it's not you. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
Well, I feel like in the last podcast that we did, I was like really soft-spoken.
You were soft-spoken. That's okay.
So.
You're soft-spoken, but you can also speak with authority with the way that you speak.
Yep.
I've seen it. I hear it. I experience it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So I shared a stack with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you just read it.
Yep.
What'd you get from it?
Well, it was all about our conversation earlier this week in the bathroom, just about like letting go potentially of real estate.
Letting go potentially or letting go?
Well, I guess whenever I try and give you advice, I want it to be more like open-ended and something that you like think about and can kind of like come to the realization on your own terms.
Yep.
Like I don't want to be a partner that just tells you what to do and then gets mad if you don't do that. Because I feel like that's not fair to you and it's definitely not fair to me either. And so...
I appreciate that.
That's good. I feel like it was just about, it was about letting go of real estate and just potentially just focusing on your coaching business. And just because I've seen over the last few months how much like stress and frustration real estate has brought you. And so I think if you can let go of that, it may help you excel in your coaching business.
What has been the impact of me managing real estate and a coaching company while trying to stay in a relationship with you, having Luca, and now another baby on the way? What has it been like from your experience?
It's just a lot to balance. You know, it's a lot for you to balance. That's a lot of things. And I think it's a lot for me to balance too, because there's been a lot of trips to California to see your own coach. And so that has meant that I've just been back home with Luca, which is fine. Like I want you to go out there and work on starting this business. But I think it's just been hard. So I don't know how you've balanced it.
Does me going out on these trips to go see Garrett and invest in myself for this coaching company, has that created resentment from you to me?
No, I don't think so.
Really? Because that's not what you told me.
Really?
Yeah, we got into a major fight about me being gone for 6 out of 7 weeks.
Well, yeah.
So what is it?
Well, this trip...
So did you had resentment towards me?
Somewhat, I guess, yeah, somewhat.
It's okay. Listen.
But I feel like we've worked through that.
But that's not what I asked. I agree we've worked through it. But did you have resentment? This is important, right? It's important to know that if you had resentment towards me, it came because you didn't feel like you could express yourself fully with me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question again, maybe just say it a little differently. In traveling that much and balancing both businesses and me being gone while you're at home watching Luca and growing another baby, did you have some resentment towards me and what I was doing?
Yeah, there was resentment that came up. It's hard and exhausting to be pregnant and chase around a toddler like full time. You know, sometimes I envy you or others that maybe have a full-time job because they can show up from like 9 to 5 or however long they work, and then their work doesn't like carry them home. Like my hours are all day, every day, Monday through Sunday. And so it was just really hard to manage a toddler with you being gone and kind of feeling or like solo parenting for that long.
So then my question is, what about our relationship made you not feel safe enough to bring it up to begin with? And you waited until the end?
Because I didn't want you to feel like you couldn't go.
And do you think like it's okay for you to suppress your own emotions and your needs and your feelings to protect me?
Well, I think it's important for you to, I know how important it is for you to get this coaching business up and running.
But you know it's not worth it without you, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a challenging time that we can get through.
I agree. I'm not saying that. But do you feel like it's okay for you to not express how you're feeling and what you need, knowing that it's only going to build resentment and drive something between the two of us?
Well, I think oftentimes I think that I can do it all and manage it for an extended period of time, and then I can't.
And you, I mean, listen, you do a lot. And I think from what I can see, one of the hardest things that you do is the work that is all unseen. Like there's nobody here to come up to you and be like, hey, you're doing a good job at being a mom. I mean, I tell you that. I tell you that you're a great wife and you do a lot of things around the house that even I don't even recognize.
Yeah.
But the outside world doesn't see that. But coming back to that, like, why did you not feel comfortable or safe telling me?
I don't think I felt. You told me that you were going to go, I think, at dinner when we were out at dinner on a date night. I was like, okay. And you were like, they're going to have this photographer there and like this and this and this, and it's really going to help me on my business. And I was like, I mean, how can I say no when you're like so amped up about it?
Yeah. I think
and like I did truly like want to support you and do it. It's just that sometimes when you're in it and you haven't had a break for 20 some days, all of a sudden it comes crashing down when he's having a tantrum and you can't get him in the freaking high chair because he's hungry.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like I really wish Sergio was here right now so that he could at least just like try to get him in the high chair or something.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
and so if there's one thing that we've experienced as a couple is that pushing these things under the rug. I do it too. I'm not saying this is on you. I sweep things under the rug and then like you'll leave a dish out and all of a sudden it's like, thump! You know? Mm-hmm. And so like I get frustrated too. My point is being that if we can't start to address these things in the moment and the resentment builds and the frustration starts to bubble up, then the tantrum seems like a fucking mountain. Or the missed phone call seems like the end of the world. But if we can just address the problem in the moment, even if it's hard, even if it's like, hey, I don't fully understand what's going on inside of me. I just know that what we have done is not working, or what you did or did not do, said or did not say is impacting me, and we need to talk about it. Because I think if we can do that, no matter what, even if it hurts in the moment, there's going to be less pain when it's fresh than if we wait too long to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that night that I think I cried at dinner with Luca in the high chair. And then we FaceTimed because you were still in California. We talked about it right then and there.
Yeah. And I'm proud of you for that. Because it's not easy to bring those things up, especially when I can be a little bit of a fucking psychopath. All right? And I'm just like, go, 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 go. I think that's why Luca's first words are go, 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 because he just watches me, you know?
All he says.
It's all this fucking kid says. But one of the things that I felt recently is like, you know, we have our 20-week appointment coming up. And I felt very disconnected from you. Like I don't, there's times where I feel like we're just going through the motions. And this is not on you, this is on us. But where we are going through the motions, there's no conversations that are, you know, at a level that feels like there's a connection to it. We sit on the couch here and we watch Netflix while I usually fall asleep. Date nights have been inexistent, and to me, it feels like we've become roommates.
I feel a little bit like I've kind of been in survival mode, just getting sick and being pregnant and still chasing after a toddler on the day-to-day basis, and that it's just been kind of exhausting.
So what do we do then? Because this obviously isn't going to work.
Well, we need to plan ahead, I think. Like, if we can get 3 or so date nights on the calendar, like a month before, I feel like that'll help us be like, okay, these are the dates. I can plan to get a sitter or someone to watch Luca, and then we just know that they're happening. You know, kind of like how we plan play dates, like weeks in advance.
Yeah. And I think dates are great, but I also think that the weeks that we can't do dates, like there has to be something else.
Yeah. I think
And I'm not saying that you need to figure this out. I think one of the things that I want to do is like the reason I share my stacks with you is because I want you to like, I'm not trying to give you homework, but it's like, it's me opening my heart and giving it to you. To be like, hey, this is what's going on in my world. Sometimes I can't express it verbally, so I get it down on paper, and that can lead to a conversation. But I think it really is like more of us talking. Like I love the fact that we're sitting here at dinner and you are trying to ask questions and I'm trying to ask questions. And even though we're both fucking exhausted, like I can tell we're putting the effort in. But I think sometimes it falls flat from both of us.
Yeah. I think we still need to make an effort to get out of the house, because if we're still like having conversations like on a day-to-day basis, whether that be after like bedtime or at dinner time, like, yes, it's been really nice to connect with you like on the couch after dinner on like your life and what's going on and all that. But I do think that it's important for us to like get out of the house where we can be like our old selves and like date again.
Yeah. I mean, even this morning I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, well, you know, our sex life is pretty much inexistent right now. And obviously you're a grown-up baby, so you don't always feel like you want to do it. And I feel disconnected. And then I was like, well, is this about sex or is this about connection? And I realized that right now, connection will lead to physical intimacy, but I don't even want that until we can start to have some type of connection. Like sex is great and it's fun and like you're good at it, but without us being able to sit here and talk about our lives and like connect at like a soul and heart level, like to me it feels very hollow. And I'm into it. Like I'm down to get a quickie in, right? But I also just want to like be with you.
Yeah. I feel like we've been having a lot of deep conversations lately. You don't think so?
I could be in my own fucking head a lot of the time. I think sometimes maybe I don't appreciate how far we've come and the conversations we have. I think the ones in the bathroom have been important. I feel like I've opened up to you a lot. And what I'm about to say, you're probably gonna, I don't know how this is gonna land, but I feel like I'm always coming to you with things. I don't feel like you open up to me about a whole lot.
You've always said that.
I have.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, do you disagree with me?
I feel like I've tried to, I mean, I don't always want to be the fucking defensive person on this goddamn podcast, but like I feel like I have tried to share my heart with you. and what's going on. And like, I share things that I talk about like with my therapist.
Yeah.
And all of that. And so I feel like I'm giving so much, and to routinely like just hear that is like,
Well, then,
I don't fucking know anymore.
I mean, listen, if that's how you feel, if that's how you truly feel, then it's on me to figure it out. Maybe I don't give you enough credit to like acknowledge some of the things that are hard for you. Like the stuff that you're working on from your childhood, or the struggles that you have as a mom trying to get a toddler. Like, maybe for me, because when you do explain them to me, it's very short, and like it's not that it's not hard, it's not that there's not depth to it, it's not that you're not being vulnerable, but I think I'm placing expectations onto you that I want you to talk to me the way I speak to you. And like I feel like sometimes I ramble, a good amount of time I ramble, but sometimes I try to give you like depth and detail and like emotion. And when I ask you about your therapist or whatever you're talking about, you're like, yeah, I talked to her about how it's hard I feel like I'm doing my best, but I feel like there's always an unchecked list, and like I'm frustrated. And then like that's the end of the description. And so to me, I'm like, well, I want to hear more. And it's only because for me as a man, I like to problem solve. And I'm not trying to solve your problems, but I want to be like, well, how do I support you in this?
I don't know. I think it's hard sometimes because I feel like once I'm out of my like struggles or challenges, they're really just like surface level of being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
You feel like our relationship is really
ways.
heavy at times?
Yeah, lately.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like the topics have been so hard.
Yeah.
I thought about this. Since our wedding day, there's been nothing but volatility. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we got married, and then what happened a week later?
We were honeymoon, and we found out we were pregnant.
And we got married, we went on honeymoon, we bought the house.
Yes.
Then we found out that we were pregnant, then we moved, then we had a baby, then you quit your job, then the market turned, now I'm starting a new company. There's just been, and now we're pregnant again.
Yeah.
And I think that's just life. And I think sometimes what I'm trying to say is like, I want to know the hard shit. I want to know where you're at and what you're going through so that I feel like I can support you emotionally. Like, I'm not trying to solve your fucking problems. Mm-hmm. You want me to, I'll help, but I'm not here to solve your problems. But what I am saying is like, I want to make sure that we're here together so that when we go on date nights, we can go and have fun. I don't want it always to be about the depth. Like, I miss seeing you laugh. Mm-hmm. Like last night when we were watching that movie that we fell asleep to and you started to laugh, it made me really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we can do during date night, Like, remember the couple date nights where, like, we went to the arcade or we went to that like, game box
That
place?
was so fun. Even though in the car on the way, you had a meltdown. And we sat in the car for 30 minutes and you were crying.
Yeah.
That was postpartum.
That was postpartum, Lizzie.
That shit's fucking crazy. Anyway, back to to dating.
Well, I don't know. I feel like for me, like sometimes every day just feels like the same. And so I have to figure out how to bring like more fun into my life, whether that be like us getting out or like enjoying more of like the small things, which I've been really trying to do with Luca. Like I feel very lucky that I do get to spend time with him, but it does get to be like very repetitive. And so then you like feel like you're kind of just stuck in this like cycle. And so
it's interesting because kids need repetition. Kids need structure, and in that structure, well, we also need it as well, but in that structure, sometimes life can feel mundane. Mm-hmm. So how do you find the balance between doing the basic, boring shit that you have to do in order to move the needle and be successful, and then be able to bring in stuff that is outside of the realm of what you normally do to spice up life.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard.
It is hard. Yeah.
Because we want to stay in shape. We just recently brought God into our family. We are growing our family. We want to have a better relationship and a better sex life. We want to be good parents. And now I'm starting a business.
Yeah.
Just a few fucking things on the table.
Just a few things.
And a lot of that, as you know, requires you to do the boring stuff. Wake up when you say you're going to wake up. Work out when you say you're going to work out. Eat what you say you're going to eat. Do what you say you're going to do. And stop lying and tell the truth. Those are basically the 5 things that we have to do every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's hard.
And it's hard. There's only so much time in a day, and yeah. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a ungrateful, miserable stay-at-home mom, because I'm not. But
you can be grateful for what you have and then also fucking frustrated. It doesn't fucking matter what anybody else is doing out there. Just because we have built this together doesn't mean your struggles can't be your struggles. You don't have to pre-frame that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like, all of the struggles that I have are like surface level.
They're all relative to you though.
Yeah.
That's always the argument, right? Like, well, Israel's under attack, right? And, there's poverty and everything. It's like there's always going to be problems that are bigger than ours. But that does not make our problems less important because they're still our problems.
Yeah.
So, what is it? What are the problems?
I don't know, just like feeling overwhelmed, I think, with trying to keep Luca entertained and busy, and keep him like learning and growing and developing, but then also all the things that are on my to-do list, and then preparing for a new baby, and then trying to figure out how to transition everything, because there'll be a good amount. They'll be 23 months apart. And in our current setup, Luca's going to go down to the basement into a new room and into a toddler bed, and then also potty train. And so it's
So let me ask you this.
all these things.
So you're overwhelmed by growing the family. You're overwhelmed by Luca's transition. You're overwhelmed by the day-to-day stuff. You're overwhelmed just with all the tasks you have to do. And you're in this space that's probably just feels heavy. Does it feel heavy and negative and frustrating and sad and overwhelmed and lonely? All of it. If you could have this any way you want, if you could transition this, knowing that we have all this, but there's a different way of living, what would that look like for you in an ideal scenario?
I haven't figured that out because I think that's the hard part about being a stay-at-home mom or just a mom in general, I want to, I truly do love being with him on a day-to-day basis. I don't want to go back to a 9-to-5 job. I don't want to send him to daycare.
Time out. I asked you what you wanted, and you're telling me all the things you don't want.
Well, yeah.
So tell me the things that you do want.
What do I want? I don't know what I want yet.
Okay, well,
I'm trying to figure that out.
Let's talk about it. That's why we're here.
Sometimes I feel like I just need a full day of trying to get things done.
Okay, so you want a day to get things done. And that doesn't give you any visibility into the future. There's always going to be something. So if you could create and design your day and your life, how would you want this to look?
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. Maybe 2 days isn't a lot to ask. One day to get shit done, And then another day just to like be or like go have fun or go take care of myself.
So one day where you can just knock some shit out, and another day where you can just invest in Lizzie. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we have two things that obviously that you want. Why do you want those things?
Because I feel like it'll make me
Why do you want
a
number
better
one?
version of myself.
Why do you want to be able just to do a day just to get shit done?
Because I know that if I can focus, I can get a lot of shit done
Okay. And why is that important
by
to you?
myself. Because it'll free up like all this mental space in my
Cool.
head.
So you create all this mental space and clarity on day one, which means as you head into day two, knowing all this shit got knocked out, what does that open up in day two for you?
I can actually just be and relax and not be like sitting on the couch or something feeling like I need to be doing something at all times.
Okay. And why is that important to you?
Because I realized over the time that you were gone how important it is for me to not, and like right before I got sick, like it's important for me to just like be, because I can work, but then I work and get sick or something. Or I just like hit a wall.
And I love that. So you're very clear on what it is, but why is that important to you?
Why is that important? Because my health is probably my number one priority.
Okay.
If I don't have my health, like I can't, it just makes everything harder.
When we talk about health, are we talking about actual physical health, mental health, spiritual health, emotional health? Which
All
health?
the above.
All of them? Perfect. So what do you think you would do on day two, knowing that after day one, you've kind of cleared the slate and everything's done? Day two, you've opened some things up for yourself. Like, what would you do physically to take care of yourself on that day?
Probably wake up, work out, go for a nice walk or something, get a facial,
Okay.
go grab lunch by myself.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
Meet
what
up
about
with a friend?
What about emotionally? What are you going to do emotionally and mentally for yourself?
Just enjoy peace and quiet.
Okay. And that'll help
Yeah.
you kind of like, as an introvert, kind of recenter? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we know what we need. We know what you want. You know why you want it.
Yep.
So what do we got to do to get there?
I don't know.
Well, let's pretend you did know for a second.
Well, we have to make more money.
Okay, let's pretend money wasn't an issue. What would it be?
But that is the issue.
Let's pretend for a second it's not an issue. What would we need to do?
Find someone that can take Luca
Okay,
on a
so
weekly basis.
2 days a week, we have somebody take care of Luca.
Mm-hmm.
Do they come and pick him up here and take him somewhere else so that you can be here? Do you go drop him off? What is that?
I think there has to be a little flexibility.
Okay.
Like there may be some days where I need to get a bunch of stuff done in the house, and it's probably best for Luca to go outside or go out of the house and do an activity.
Yeah. We could kennel train him.
Totally.
Okay. So this is starting to, do you see how this is like a clear picture of a very easy solution to put in place? And how one of those 2 days could be my mom and my dad, which means we have to hire somebody for 1 day a week to take care of him.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. He's already going to like school for half a day.
Right. But what if that was you drop him off and my parents pick him up and then we go get him? Mm-hmm. Here's my point. Like, this is a problem that we can fix like that. What does the version of Lizzie look like if this is how we live? 2 days a week, you're off. What does our marriage look like?
Yeah. Hopefully we would be able to find time to get a date in there.
Yeah. One of those nights could be a date night,
Yeah.
which means that you and I could be
More connected.
more connected. How does this impact your relationship with Luca as his mom? Does it make you a better mom or a worse mom?
I think it makes me a better mom.
Yeah. Why?
Because then I'm not like so stressed or trying to multitask and also entertain him when he's like coming up to me and like,
Yeah.
you're like, Mom.
That fuse goes from being like razor thin to, all right, yeah, I got you. We're good. Take care of it. So now you and I are better. Me and Luke are better. And you're investing in yourself, whether that's in a coach or therapy or whatever you want to do on your own.
Yeah.
You know, I want that for you too, if that's what you want. I'm not just saying that because there's fucking people. Well, I don't know if anybody will watch this, but you know, that's what I want for you too. Mm-hmm. Do you know why?
Why?
Because all I care about is you finding whatever you want. Because it's going to open some shit up for you.
Yeah.
And I'm investing in myself and I'm doing all these things, but it can't be just me investing in me anymore.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work. You have become an anchor to me.
But like, it's also not possible right now.
Well, we don't know that. I want you to hear what I just said.
I talked to you like a month ago about it.
Well, listen, things can change. After what we have experienced together in this relationship, even though what was said a month ago, you should allow me to change my mind and things to evolve. And sometimes you don't let me. You're like, well, you said this 3 years ago. It's like, fucking 1,000 days ago. Yeah, I said that. A few things have changed since then. So we have to evolve or this isn't going to work. You have become an anchor at points in my life. I can't go any further unless this gets fucking freed up. And you can't go any further unless this gets freed up. So we're at a fucking fork in the road.
Yeah.
But I can't want this more than you. And if I give you the green light, I'm like, hey, let's do it. And you don't do it, that's not on me anymore.
I know.
Okay.
It would be my responsibility anyways.
Okay. Does that sit okay with you? That being your responsibility?
Yeah.
Okay. Your eyes look very pretty right now, by the way, in that light.
Thanks.
So I think part of what this is in that stack and talking about our relationship and this disconnection and me trying to grow and you trying to grow and all of us trying to grow as a family is that we have to like invest in order to move forward. And there's a money cost to it. But to me, without that, we're just going to be in this fucking circle jerk of just being like growth, frustration, and we're never going to get out until the circle expands because you expand and I expand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like what, as I say that, like what do you feel? What do you hear?
I do feel like it's been like very circular or just like repetitive.
Very what?
Circular.
Okay. What is it called? What is this called?
Circular.
Circle what? Say it.
Circulation.
No. Circle what?
Circle jerk.
Circle what?
That?
Yeah.
Circle jerk.
What's a circle jerk? It's mental masturbation. You can fuck yourself, but you're not getting anywhere. Got it?
Okay, got it.
Like, so anyway, continue. It feels like it's been like that?
Yeah, just...
Anyway.
It feels like it's just been, like, we're stuck in this, like, repetitive motion of,
Yeah.
like, you and, like, whatever, we're in the grind. I get frustrated about the same stupid things, and
Yeah.
I'm, like, kicking myself for just not being grateful enough, and then, like, we're disconnected, and then we get reconnected, and then it's just like the whole thing again.
Disconnection, reconnection, frustration, growth. It never fucking stops right now.
Yeah.
And you're over here trying to be grateful, but you can only be grateful about the same thing for so long until you're like, fuck this, I'm done. Not with me, but just like with the environment as a whole. Maybe with me, but that's what it'll eventually get to if we don't get out of this.
Yeah.
You realize that. Like, you'll go your way, I'll go my way, we'll get divorced, and then we have to co-parent 2 boys.
Yeah. Well, I feel like life has just been very kind of like boring lately.
So,
I don't know.
I agree. Did not see this podcast going this way. But this is something that I think we have to work on.
Yeah.
What do you think are some things that we need to do immediately? Like this week, or right when we get back from Hawaii, It has to change. Let's go one for one.
Okay. I really liked when we had that calendar, remember, at the old house?
Okay.
Of like our travel and anything that we had planned, and doing something similar like that for us. And again, like getting our date nights on the calendar, because we get to the end of the month and we're like, oh, we haven't had a date night in like 3 weeks now.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be nice to like just have them on the calendar so we can look forward to it. We know they're gonna happen. Like they're like we have to like write them in stone, and I don't know,
Stone
because
calendars are going to be very heavy.
I know.
And also, we're going to have to learn how to fucking chip away in there.
That's your job.
Okay, so, okay. I think that's great. I think getting a calendar and getting clear on our date nights, I think, for me, a weekly, like, planning session. Like, Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, Luca goes down. We talk about the upcoming week. About, hey, here's what's coming up. We get it on the calendar, so it's very clear, so there's no surprises.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good.
And I think also part of that is giving you access to my work calendar so that you can see everything.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily need to, but maybe just like a rough idea of like, I'm going to plan to, I'm going to plan to be home during lunch these days. So maybe I can like run to like do a couple errands or
Gotcha.
something during that time, or
Okay.
hey, I'm gonna be working at this like volunteer thing tonight or this night, and I won't be home. You know, so
Okay.
that way I can like be like, okay, well then we'll do like an easy dinner that night.
Okay, so we have calendar. What else? Actually, it's my turn. We have to get these twice a week sitters for Luca. One's going to be the school and my parents, and then we got to get somebody else once a week. It could be my parents. I don't know. Maybe they want to watch them twice a week.
Yeah.
But I think if we don't get that into place, then we're going to start to have some massive struggles here soon.
Yeah.
But part of that is like in that expansion, in that extra time that you get on the day when you're not doing anything, like this day has to be about you, investing back in you. It can't just be doing shit around the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I have that day to like my like get shit done day, like then I can plan, okay, I need to get these things done, and then I can just do them. Because I feel like there was 1 week in my second trimester where I was feeling great, and I got a lot of stuff done, even though I think you were gone that week, and then I got sick, and now I feel like I'm back in the first trimester again, just like so tired. But I feel like as long as I feel good, then I can get a lot of stuff done.
Okay. So calendar. Let's stick with these two. Let's just start there. There's no need to start just throwing extra shit on there. Let's nail these two things, and then we'll readjust.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up here. We're going to leave it with, what's coming up for you after this conversation that we just so naturally just talked into the camera about.
I don't know. You really feel like I don't open up to you about things?
I think you open up to me about certain things, but you're very resistant when I start asking questions. You immediately shut down. You get very defensive at times. You, especially like when something happens between us, and I go, "Well, what's up? What's going on?" And you're like, "Nothing. It's fine." Because, like, you just give me like, these bullshit answers because you don't want to talk about it because that's how you were raised, and I'm not okay with it anymore. So, yes, you're vulnerable, but I'm going to push you to open up even more. because I want all of you in my life. I want your soul. I want your heart. I want a connection for you. And so when you think I'm fighting you, just realize like I'm fighting for the relationship that I want, the relationship that we want, the one that you've expressed to me. So even though it may seem like I'm being hard or I'm asking questions and sometimes I get frustrated because I'm not perfect too, just realize like I want to know more because I care. Not because your answers aren't good enough, but because I know that deep down there's something that you're not willing to tell me. And I'm trying to get that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes I just feel a little uncomfortable, like bringing them up when Luca's in the room, because I'm scared if it escalates at all, then we have to be in that kind of like tense environment with our child.
Yeah. And I think if we hide those conversations around him, then at one time he's going to get into a relationship when he gets older. And if him and his significant other get into a fight, he's going to immediately think that there's something wrong with the relationship. Our ability to handle conflict in front of our kid not only is a test to us, for us to be able to do it, but it's going to give him a framework to know that it's okay to be in a relationship, completely disagree, and yet respectfully understand that you guys can come to an agreement by talking to each other about whatever's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that doesn't happen if we don't bring it up.
Yeah, that's true.
So what came up for me in this is this. I didn't realize that we were just constantly in this circle. And that circle, I think, has led me to believe that it's impacting more of our lives than I realized. It's impacting our health. It's impacting our relationship with one another. Like we can't ever just get out of this and start to like see each other for more and love each other for more and grow as a couple. And it's also impacting my business. Because every time that we are connected, things start to take off, only to have us fucking get into a fight and have it shut it all down. And then I get, frustrated, doubtful, insecure. And like, I know one thing, when you get into a fight in your marriage, your production will immediately go down. And I'm not trying to have a better relationship with you for that, but I know that there is a pattern that we have to break in order to get to where we're trying to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yep. Ditto. You're going to be speaking on stage at some point here in a month, right?
Yeah, I know.
So.
I don't know. It's just interesting to Vaughn.
Just leave it. She's not doing anything.
Okay.
You're not going to hear it.
Okay. I think it's just interesting to like realize that we were stuck in a pattern, because I just noted it as like, this is just life as a parent and balancing business, your child, and yourself, like this is just how it is. And so, I don't know.
Is that a big breakthrough for you?
Yeah.
The pattern?
The pattern. I'm interested in what it looks like a month from now, if we do actually make like significant changes where we can get ourselves out of this pattern.
Okay. So I'm going to commit to you right now that for the next 30 days, right? Because we're going to be in Hawaii, we got Thanksgiving. Until the end of November, I'm committed to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Sounds good.
That was super. Yep. I totally feel like you're on board here.
I guess I just have a little bit of doubt.
Well, then don't say it. If you don't fucking mean it, then don't commit to it. I'm in.
No, I just have doubt because like, I don't know.
Okay, well, how's that doubt going to help us get out of this?
I have doubt that like it's going to change, because I feel like we've been in this for a couple months now.
Cool. And so let me ask you this. That storyline right there, the doubt and you feel like it's not going to change.
Yeah, I know, it's not serving me.
Then how's it going to help us get out of this?
It won't.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Change
I'm
it.
a little frustrated right now. Like, what do you want to do? We had this whole thing. We had this whole conversation. We got clear on what it is. You got clear on what you needed. I'm sitting here and supporting you. I get to the spot where I tell you that I'm committed to you, and then you just say, fuck off.
Because I feel like we had this conversation
But we've never done
like a
anything.
month ago when I like found a couple potential like nannies, and you were like, well, we can't do that right now. And I was like, okay.
What did I just tell you? I just said that things can evolve. And if you're going to hold me to something that I said a month ago, then I'm going to hold you to the time that you said that you thought I was going to be a bad dad. Do you want me to do that? Is that fair?
No.
Okay, well then don't hold me to everything that I've said.
Okay.
I'm allowed to adjust and change my mind. Don't you want somebody that like,
Yeah, I do.
yeah, what if I'm just stuck in my old ways that doesn't allow for any growth?
Because unfortunately in this world, money matters.
Money does matter. But do you realize that the only way out of this thing to make more money, for us to grow and for this company to grow, is for us to get out of this cycle? We will be capped here forever.
Okay.
Growth, frustration, connection, disconnection, love, anger, long fuse, short fuse. What is this called again?
Circle jerk.
Circle jerk. And the only way for us to get out of this is to break the whole fucking thing, rewrite the rules, and commit to one another that if we don't do this, then we're just going to be in this forever. And I'm not willing to do it anymore. And I don't, from what you've told me, it doesn't sound like you are either.
No.
So I'm telling you, I'm committed to this. I'm telling you, we can find a nanny. I'm telling you, the money's not going to be a problem for this. I'm literally telling you. So you can have your doubts, but I've spoken my truth. Now what you choose to do with that is up to you.
Okay.
Where are you actually at? Tell me.
Good. Hey. Sounds good. We'll figure it out.
What is it? Are you just saying that because you actually mean it? Or are you just saying that to get out of this conversation?
No.
Come here, give me your hand. I want this for us. You deserve this just as much as I do. You deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
You deserve to have like time for yourself, Lizzie.
Yeah. I mean, ski season is coming up, so I'm like, it'd be nice to do something fun for myself.
Come here, come here. What do you want? It's okay if you don't know. It's okay. Like when you think of something fun for yourself, like what is it?
Dance or go to a yoga class. I don't know. It's like stupid stuff.
Well, then why don't we do it? I won't.
Because there's like no time ever.
So you know those nights when I have to work late and I have to go to a, what did you say, like a fundraiser or something? And you cook dinner for Luca and you take care of him? Why can't it be me doing it for you? Why can't we get this calendar out and we start to plan the dance things or the yoga classes or whatever it is that you want for fun? That the money that you spend on the ski pass, you just keep that and you go do some fun shit. Mm-hmm. Just go do that.
Yeah.
Look at me. I want you to go do that if that's what you want to go do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, life is just so mundane right now.
Okay.
It's like just stuck in weekly to-dos and like trying to keep Luca entertained and all that, and like I'm grateful because I do get time with him, but like it doesn't mean like it doesn't get boring sometimes.
I know.
Like it doesn't mean I'm like ungrateful for him.
Nobody's calling you.
I'm ungrateful to be like a stay-at-home mom.
Nobody's calling you ungrateful. You can be grateful and also want more than me. It's okay. This is part of this. Look at me. It's okay to want more. And to not be okay with what you have right now. And to be grateful about some parts. And to be like, fuck it. I want more for myself because I deserve more. And I'm telling you, like, I want that for you too. So, I want to say this one more time. I'm committed to this. I'm committed to us figuring this out and finding something that works for you and for me and that brings us closer together. But I'm not going to be committed just by myself. I need you with me on this.
Yeah, no.
So if we do this, are you going to go plan? Are you going to go dance? Are you going to go to yoga classes? Are you going to just make excuses as to why you can't?
No, I just gotta figure out when.
Okay. And it all starts with what? That fucking calendar. So you know what we're going to do as soon as this thing's over? We're going to go buy one. Come here. I love you. It's going to be okay, I promise. I promise. It's going to be okay. We're going to change this whole fucking thing. You have my word.
Okay.